Today we're going to work on the psoas muscle. So the psoas runs on the inside, on the front of your spine. So it's kind of a hard spot to get to. So I'm going to show you how to work on that, kind of stretch it and strengthen it. You can use a yoga block or you can use a blanket. So your blanket's going to be a little bit softer. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down on your back with your knees up towards the ceiling and push your feet into the mat, lifting your hips. Slide your blanket or block underneath the hips, so it should line up with the top of your hips. And then you're going to stretch your legs. So extend your legs out. If you aren't feeling a little stretch and a pull along your, like underneath your belly button, then you might need a deeper stretch. So then that's where the block is going to come in, because the block is more solid than your blanket. Stick your block underneath, right along your hip line. Stretch your legs out. Relax through your back, your hips, your glutes, and then your belly. And just relax here, toes pointing towards the ceiling. Taking a couple deep breaths. The deep breaths allow the body to relax. It just communicates with the body like it's time to relax. Just relax here for a few moments. You can lay here with your eyes closed. You can just look up at the ceiling. Your shoulders are completely relaxed down to your mat. So allowing the hips and the psoas to open up. Your psoas runs on the back of your spine, so the front of your spine, right? The front of your spine down to your hip bone, and then from your hip it runs down to the top of the femur. So this really opens and stretches every part of the psoas up. You can even come in here and kind of massage the little circles. Just be gentle. Massage around the hip bones. And then next, relax your arms beside you. Toes pointing towards the top, towards the ceiling. Lift your right foot up, keeping it extended. So lift it up and set your foot back down to the mat. Lift your foot and set it back down. Inhale, lift your foot. Exhale, set your foot back down. This time, lift your foot, bend at the knee, draw your knee in towards your chest. This is as far as you can go. You can even grab the back of your leg if you want to and pull your knee a little bit closer. Obviously, at this angle, we're not going to get our knee down to our chest. We're just pulling it towards our chest. Continuing to take deep breaths, allowing the body to adjust to the pose. Allowing your muscles to relax. And go ahead and slowly release your leg back down to the mat. Slow and controlled. Let's move to the other side. So again, relaxing your arms beside you. Lift your left leg up. Set it back down to your mat. Inhale, lift your leg. Exhale, set it back down. Inhale, lift your leg. Exhale, set it back down. Inhale, lift your leg, bend it at the knee, draw it up towards your chest. And again, you can grab it behind your knee or your leg to pull it in towards your chest, or you can even come above your knee on your shin and pull it down towards your chest. However, you get that deepest stretch. Obviously, if it hurts, we don't do it. Can't imagine this would hurt anyone, but you never know. Inhale, slowly extend your leg back out down to your mat. And exhale. This time, inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Stretch. Stretch like people are playing tug of war with you. Somebody's pulling on your hands and somebody else is pulling on your feet. Nice big stretch. Inhale, bring your hands back down. Draw the soles of your feet to the mat. Knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. Push your feet into the mat, lifting your hips. And grab that block out from underneath of you. And then set the hips back down to your mat, slow and controlled. Inhale, push your feet into the mat, lift your hips. Exhale, bring your hips back down to your mat. Inhale, push your feet into the mat, lifting your hips. Exhale, bring your hips back down to your mat. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, draw your knees into your chest. Give your knees a squeeze. Wrap your arms around your legs. You can rock side to side, back and forth. This just gives your body a moment, your psoas a moment. On your next inhale, set your feet back down to the mat. Slowly lift your chest up, coming into a seated position. We're going to transition into a tabletop. So come on, onto all fours. So your knees are stacked underneath your hips, wrists are stacked underneath your shoulders. Pulling your shoulders down away from your ears. Pull your navel back towards your spine. We're going to go on to the right side. We're going to kick out our knee to the side. So we'll kick it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plant your right knee back down to the mat. Let's go to the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set that knee back down to your mat. Extend your right or your left arm out, and then extend your left leg out. Just hold here. Toes are pointing down towards the mat. And then bring your hand and your knee back down to your mat. Extend your right arm, left leg, toes pointing down towards the mat. remembering to breathe. And set your right hand down, left leg down. Sit back. Sit your hips back to the heels of your feet, coming into child's pose. So extend your arms out in front of you, bringing your forehead to the mat. Deep breaths, relaxing through the body, relaxing through the psoas, relaxing through the hips, the glutes. Deep breaths. On your next inhale, lift up onto all fours, curl your toes, lift your hips up towards the ceiling into a downward facing dog. So you should look like an upside down V. Allowing your head to hang in between your arms, relaxing through your neck and your shoulders. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your toes, forward fold. Drawing your navel back towards your spine. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, roll up to standing. Exhale, shoulders down. And step to the long side of your mat. So you're gonna be in a wide-legged pose, and your toes are gonna be pointing towards the corners of your mat. And sink down into your knees, relaxing your hands just on your thighs or your knees. It's up to you. Just getting a nice inner thigh stretch, stretching out the glutes. Inhale, come back up, straightening your legs. Exhale, sink back down in. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, sink down into your knees. Trying to sink a little bit further, really stretching out the inner thighs. Straighten the legs. Beautiful. Let's heel toe your feet back together. Inhale, arms up. Stretch up tall, opening up that front body. So coming slightly into a slight back bend. So we're going to pull our navel back towards our spine. Stretching out the psoas, opening up the front body. Exhale, come back down. Yeah. Inhale, reach up tall. Slight back bend. Open up that front body. Exhale, come back down. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Slow and controlled. Relaxing your head in between your arms. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, shoulders back and down. You're creating a nice flat back. Inhale, hands to the mat. Step your feet back into a downward facing dog. Pulling your navel back towards your spine, creating more space to push your hips a little bit higher. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your feet, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, hands to the mat. Walk your hands out so you're back into the downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. You're here in a runner's lunge, so your back foot is up on the ball and on the toes. The heel is lifted. Make sure your front knee's not going over your toes. It's going to be, the goal is to have it stacked over your ankle. Sink down into that hip. And set your knee down to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Bring your hands to your knee or your thigh. And then push your hands into your thigh. Coming into a slight back bend. Again, stretching the psoas, the front body, as you sink down into that hip. Nice deep breaths. Relax the body. Inhale. Exhale. Back. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Curl your back toes, lift your knee off the mat, and step your right foot back. Downward facing dog. Let's take a couple breaths here. And step your left foot forward in between your hands. Your back heel is lifted off of the mat. Sinking down as far as you can down into your hips there. Really stretching from your hip to your femur, that front quad there. It's where your part of your psoas is, right? Your iliopsoas. Knee to the mat, uncurl your toes. Hands to your knee, push your hands into your knee or your thigh. Coming into a slight back bend, pull your navel back towards your spine. Deep stretch. Our psoas gets tight from sitting a lot, driving, those types of things, maybe climbing ladders and things like that, where we're just constantly using that muscle and it needs to be relaxed, stretched out a bit, instead of constantly being activated. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Curl your back toes, lift your knee off the mat, send your left foot back, coming into a downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your toes, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, roll up to standing. Exhale, shoulders down. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Forward fold. Walk your hands out, coming into a downward facing dog. And then set your knees down to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Sit your hips back to the heels of your feet, coming into a child's pose. Bringing your forehead to the mat. Relaxing through the neck and the shoulders. Next inhale, walk your hands back towards your knees, coming to sit on the heels of your feet. Bring your hands to the mat. Mindfully swing your feet out from underneath of you. Extend your legs out in front of you. Sit up tall. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come back to a seated position. Exhale. Soles of your feet to the mat. Slide your hips towards your heels. Slowly roll down to your mat, bringing your shoulders all the way down to your mat. Your knees are still lifted towards the ceiling. Inhale, push your feet into the mat, lifting your hips. Exhale, bring your hips back down. Slow and controlled. Inhale. Push your feet into the mat, lifting your hips. Nice big stretch along the hips, the psoas. Exhale. Bring your hips back down. Inhale. Exhale. Leaving your left knee up towards the ceiling. Extend your right leg. Get settled in and relaxing through your low back. Shoulders are onto your mat. Inhale, lift your leg up towards the ceiling. Slow and controlled. Exhale, bring your leg back down. Inhale, lift it only as high as you can. You don't need to have your whole foot pointing up towards the ceiling. Focusing on the psoas, on the hips. Lower your foot back down. Let's do that 2 more times on your own. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Beautiful. And bring your right foot, sole of your foot to the mat. And extend your left leg out. Inhale, lift your leg off the mat. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more times on your own. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Beautiful. Relax your foot down, leg back down, leg down to the mat. And extend your right leg out. So both legs should be extended out onto your mat. Let's take a couple deep breaths here, relaxing through the whole body. Just allow your body to relax. Let it go. Nice. Slowly push yourself up into a seated position. And there you go. You can do this video obviously as many times in a row as you need to. I would say just start out with this one and do this one a few days a week, and then just build up and really strengthen and stretch the psoas and get it all loosened up, feeling better and feeling good. All right. Thanks for watching and enjoy.